What's the deal? My boy Big Van. You already know, Killer Cam. And it's
Yes.
Sportz Yak and we back.
You know the deal.
I see we got a small glitch, but it's all good. We're gonna try to get it. If it don't work, Van, we could, run it back tomorrow if we got to.
Okay. All right.
What when I connect you to my hotspot, where is your anything?
You just do it right now.
Sportz Yak, y'all already know what it is, man. And as I say, it's me, Killer Cam, the motherfucking pilot. Let me fly it. Y'all already know the big homie Van over there, man. The most knowledgeable. You see us, man, and
What's happening with you?
he holding down that dog pound, man. I'm holding down that nation, Raider Nation. You already know. So yeah, man, we already know, man. We like to come and try to bring y'all some good sports talk, good banter, man, and do it as fellas as we do, man. It's called Sportz Yak. So if you like to chill and drink, chill and smoke, talk sports, this is your spot, man. This is where you want to be, man. So we hope you hit that like and that subscribe and you mess with us, and we will give you as much content as possible. Um, yeah, man, let's get into this draft talk. All right, man, we're gonna get right into it, man. My Raiders, man, we had a nice little draft. Um, we were able to pick up 11 players, which I think we originally had nine. So we were able to get two extra players. Uh,
Nice.
I feel good about our draft, man. I think that obviously if we would have got Shador for me personally, everybody's kind of different on Shador, but if especially where you guys were able to grab him, man, if we were able to grab Shador, I feel like it would have been a perfect draft class, close to that 2014 draft class where we got Gabe Jackson, Khalil Mack, and Derek Carr all in the same draft. One of our best draft classes that I could ever remember. But nonetheless, this was a great draft class. About 5 out of 11 players that I mocked came to our team. So I felt good about that. And honestly, every year people are like, oh, this feels better. This coaching staff feels like they're doing a better job and they're more competent. And I always felt like, man, we don't know until we see. But honestly, these picks, I can feel the competency. If that's the right word, I can feel okay. Somebody know what they doing in there. And
Yeah.
I'm happy all around the board. I think I'm pretty good. Oh, the only other thing, I think it's when we pick this guy right here. I believe I forgot his name. Sorry about that, fella. I'm gonna get you all figured out. Um, it was a third round. I would have taken what's his Will Johnson, the DB out of Michigan. I would
Hmm.
have taken him and he was still on the board and we didn't take him. Makes me wonder why. I know he has some injury issues, but that's the only other issue I would have had. But even the players that we got, I'm happy with them. They didn't take Will. It is what it is. Um, these are our future right here, and I'm good with it.
Do you have a player outside of Ashton, of course? But do you have a player that you're excited that you got on the team and you can't wait to see what he does with the Raiders?
I have I'll say three players right now for sure.
Okay.
There's actually a lot more, but I want to see with this DB does Darian Porter. That kid right there used to be a wide receiver. Now he's a DB. He has this. He has. I think he's like 6'2", long arms. He's fast. He can high point the ball. He reminds people of Richard Sherman. It's a quintessential Pete Carroll pick. So that dude is definitely going to interest me because he's the only one that we picked at defensive back and safety in the secondary, and we need that bad. So we need him to step up. A lot of eyes on him. I'm falling in love with Jack Bech, man. The wide receiver out of Texas, out of TCU, man. That dude, and knowing his story with his brother, and just watching how he plays, he is a dog, and he plays like Brock Bowers. He's like a wide receiver version. So I know he's gonna be good for us, bro. I ain't gonna compare him to Hunter Renfro. I'm not gonna do that, but he's gonna fill that type of role, I feel like.
Okay.
And then finally, Thornton, this wide receiver right here, 6'5", ran a 4.3 in the combine. tall. He's really like straight line speed. His route tree isn't the craziest, kind of like reminds me of a slim DK Metcalf type of deal, but
Okay.
fast. But yeah, and obviously not as aggressive, just more of a straight line, not crazy with the route tree. He's gonna make some defenses. He's gonna ease the pressure. So now you got to deal with a dude who can who's 6'5", who can run a 4.3, or you gonna stop Ashton Genty, or you gonna stop Brock Bowers. So it's the offense is looking pretty.
He out there again.
Hey, that's five. That's five on that. That's five.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
What you thinking, Van? Talk to us. We talking
you
about your
know,
doing.
yeah, we're talking about my Browns right now, and I kind of, with all the mock drafts we were doing, I was going Shador early, focus on the defense, and trying to get some tools for Shador to work with in those mock drafts. So to see we push back to two, I mean from 2 to 5, to pick up Mason Graham, um, I'm happy with the pick. Like with what I've seen, with the character that
Yeah,
he carries himself with,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then realizing he gonna be right next to Miles,
Woo,
like,
woo.
hey,
That's
that line,
pressure. That's pressure.
and I
That's
mean,
yeah.
and so you got Mason Graham who has a wrestling background, so his hands is crazy. You know what I'm saying? He know how to move people out the way.
Yeah.
Um, We also picked up the Ohio State running back. Oh no, before that we picked up the linebacker from UCLA. Let me get my man's name because I don't want to butcher him. My man Carson Sweshinger. We picked him up number 33. Another dude I didn't know about, didn't follow too much, but after hearing you and then after watching this tape and watching Baldy, shout out to Baldy, who has some of the
Oh,
greatest,
oh,
some of the greatest reels I've seen when just knowledgeable with the whole NFL. I like that pick. Like we made some additions, and the running back from Ohio State, Judkins, don't even got to say nothing about him. We know what he's about.
Sean.
Um, and then we got a tight end, the tight end from Bowling Green. I
Yeah.
was questionable about, but then he got like the most yards in the FBS for a tight end, and it's like, oh, okay, okay. My boy Harold Fannin Jr. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Harold Fannin Jr. Dylan Gabriel in the third round, the 94th pick. Like I said, Shador was my dude, so seeing Dylan go before Shador really wasn't quintessential for me, but
If we,
um,
if we take
I
the
was good.
politics out,
You take the politics out, it ain't gonna never make sense.
you
But listen, it ain't gonna listen. I'm not gonna Andrew Berry this shit, nigga. Like, there's
said we take
nothing.
it's still ain't gonna make
Yeah, there's nothing we can do to make that make sense. But we got him, and he
yeah,
has some upside,
hey,
right? He got some upside. But
yeah,
then you got Dylan Sampson. Look, you got Dylan Sampson, the dude from
that was
yes,
when I seen that pick. I don't mean to cut you off, man, but when I seen that pick, I was like, "Oh shit, these niggas is really like they're getting like second round talent in like the fourth." Because Dylan Sampson, even though he was like around a third round, but I thought he was like second round talent. Honestly, I was like,
absolutely.
he's when you get to like what was it, DK Giddens, or I forgot,
DJ,
DJ Giddens. It was like he was the last one left before you get to like the Bayshaw Tutons and the RJ Harveys, who aren't 3 down, 4 down backs. I mean, they're more.
right?
I mean, they're 4 down backs, but they're not all. They're not first, second, third. Um, so he was like one of them last ones because I think they said he was like the most. I don't know if he had the most missed tackles or something like that. It was something that he had, not the most, but he was just like it was hard to take him down. And I was just like,
Yeah,
dude, that's a great pick, man. And I think you
yeah.
guys had a great draft.
I mean, I couldn't be happier after, realizing that I wasn't as smart as I thought I was.
Hey,
You feel me?
keep in mind you have another first round pick next year too.
So that is
That's the cherry on top. That's what makes it all worth it.
that's a cherry on top because basically what we're saying is either if we have a bad year, right? If we have a bad year, we're gonna have another top 10 pick, or we're gonna be good and we can trade that pick to somebody else.
Bro, and then look at you have Shador. You have two. You should y'all. There's no way y'all should fall because if Shador ends up being good, but not say y'all don't want him, somebody's gonna want him. Now
Absolutely.
you have trade collateral. What if Dylan Gabriel's good? Y'all gonna get one of them niggas is gonna be good. One of them are gonna be better than the other, and then hopefully they're both good, and you got trade options, and you got another first. You guys are set up to actually win in the long run. Um, and it might not be a bad situation with the quarterback room. We know Flacco's going to fizzle out at some point. Hopefully, we hate to see that the way it is, but hey, somebody's going to eat. Hey, somebody go crawl their way to the top and win. And
Listen,
yeah.
and you know what, Cam? It's gonna happen in preseason. You
Mm,
know, we're gonna see the rookie training camps clips is gonna start coming out.
yeah.
OTAs clips is gonna start coming out.
It's gonna happen
But the preseason games, when them rookies have 3 quarters to work, 2 quarters to work,
yeah.
like that's when we're gonna see what these young men can do, and I'm excited about it. I'm
Mhm.
excited about it. And then last but not least, and this really could have been the very first guy we talked about, but picking up Shador at 144 um, was incredible value.
Mhm.
Like I can't there won't be a better value pick for years, I don't believe.
No, I mean, unfortunately, I don't expect to see a second rounder, first rounder fall to the fifth. That was crazy. I mean, and I think that all depends on how he turns out as well. You know what I
True.
mean? Because it's that's what it is now. But if he doesn't end up being good, which is a possibility, unfortunately, it's with everybody. Then we look at that a little bit different. I think with like obviously in retrospect, Aaron Rodgers is like, okay, that was great value and where you got, but I think we can look and see a bunch of them. But yeah, that still is kind of still to be determined. But
I
yeah,
mean, just on the draft stock alone, not based on
right.
you know
Future.
what I'm saying? Yeah, not based on what he gonna do, but just based on what he was projected to be in the draft to where we actually got him. That value, I don't think it's gonna be seen in a minute.
Nah, yeah, that's crazy to get a future, bro. He's already in Cleveland at schools giving back. Like this is a superstar, bro. And y'all got him in the fifth. So yeah, you're right, bro. He's gonna find his way to the top. And y'all
Yeah,
got him in the fifth, and y'all playing him crumbs. But boy, when he want that cheese, ooh,
he
that nigga gonna tax that ass. Hey.
as he should.
Y'all, hey, nigga, I took a chance on you. You ain't gonna give me a discount? Hey, nigga, you missed 5
Yeah,
times before you did touch me.
yeah. I'm not gonna play with y'all like that. What we talking about?
I'm not gonna play with y'all. What okay. Wait, so how many picks did y'all end up getting? Like
In total, we got Mason, Carson, Quinshawn, Harold, Dylan, Gabriel, Dylan Sampson, and Shador. So eight
so
total.
that was it.
8 total.
So y'all gave up. What did y'all give up? Y'all
We gave up a couple of like a third and a fourth in this draft.
But got the
Because what do we have to begin with? We had the 2, the 5, the 37, the 94. I feel like we gave that 94 and that 104 up. Maybe even one of these 200s.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Y'all 10 and ended up with 8. So y'all lost 2 of them. And that's what you said, the third and the fourth.
Yeah, it was
But technically, y'all got none. Y'all only lost 1 because y'all got the first for next year.
right.
So
True.
technically, only lost 1. Okay.
True.
Damn.
But man, listen,
Hey.
and then when you talk about scheme, like now we talk about football scheme.
Yeah.
Um, I'm curious what we're gonna do at wide receiver.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I like Jerry Judy. You know, he did well last year. Did better than people thought he would. I think David Njoku is a great receiving tight end. We still have Mike Woods, who hasn't really played much. David Bell, who had a decent season a couple of years ago. He had a decent season where he like broke a touchdown for the game. You know what I'm saying? Like fourth down. It was like a fourth down tub. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, but nobody that you can really be like, yeah, we got one.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Um,
Which is
so it's
important.
gonna be interesting.
Right. Yeah, definitely. It is gonna be interesting, man. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did a hard knocks over there, man. Uh
Shador got the highest jersey sales for rookies, and he ain't got a number yet.
he ain't got a number yet. It's only right, bro. So yeah, the Browns are gonna be definitely interesting. I mean, I think that's for everybody. Um, which kind of also leads you into like, what do you think? Well, first of all, what do you think about the whole Shador situation in the fall anyway? Like, how do you view that? What was your reaction when you seen as it progressed? Because I don't think after the second, we didn't nobody knew what was gonna happen. So like,
No.
what was your reaction when you guys passed on him the first time? And then what was your reaction when you passed on him the second time and like as it progressed?
Oh, so once again, trading back to 5, um,
Mm,
I had no idea what to expect. I had literally no idea what to expect. So
yeah.
everything was kind of out the window. Even when we was doing our recording, like my reactions wasn't like you could tell I wasn't like, yo, we old.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, oh, okay, that's a
Okay.
pick. Like,
Yeah.
that's definitely somebody.
Yeah.
Um, so then when we picked up Carson, the linebacker, so my mindset is Myles Garrett was gonna leave us. What we had to do was give him pieces to make sure that defense ate.
Mm, mm,
Like I don't think Miles really cared what happened on the offensive side, though he know that's where we score points.
mm.
Miles is like, I'll stay here, but I'm not finna be the only dog. Like y'all gonna have to really find some people that's really finna get out here and like really get it.
And you think that's Mason Graham over Abdul Carter staying and getting Abdul over because with you guys are going to be tied to Travis Hunter. Well, Travis Hunter because of the trade, and then you're going to be
Yep.
kind of tied to Shadur. Well, you have Shadur. You're going to be which kind of null and voids that because Shadur was slated kind of to go to y'all too first, so you got who you wanted, but you're kind of going to be tied to Travis Hunter because you could have had Travis and or Abdul and Shadur. So
Yes.
but you have
Yes.
Mason and Shadur, but you could have had either of them. So you're kind of going to be tied to those. Do you feel Mason Graham was more important than Abdul for the team? And I actually don't think immediately it's just Abdul because it's hard to find a defensive tackle that could disrupt and collapse that center. So I am kind of like scheme wise, it probably does. You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. Um,
That's hard to just
you
say
know,
Graham over Abdul.
you know, I mean, listen, considering our mock drafts, I would have a I wouldn't be able to defend that. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't. Um, so yeah, I know that Jim Schwartz is gonna be able to scheme the crap out of these people though, because once again, Miles is not always gonna be in the same spot.
Right, right,
And I think everybody's gonna have the ability to move and shift, which is gonna throw the defenses off. Um, so I think that I'll definitely be looking at Travis Hunter and seeing what he does. I'll be looking at Abdul Carter because those are players that we have the opportunity to draft
yeah,
and see what they do. But I'm confident in what I believe Mason Graham can do. Um, that's without me doing a lot of like diving into what he's really about because I was focused on so much on Abdul Carter and
right.
Shador. I wasn't really I wasn't really focused on Mason Graham. So, but I think, and check this out. This is another. I'm gonna bring this up real quick. Mason Graham, after being picked fifth overall,
Uh-huh.
right? This goes back to Will Johnson, the young man you said that y'all should have drafted. He did his little interviews. He did all his little, talk to everybody. He got a call saying Will Johnson was still in the green room. Dude went back into the green room and stayed with him the whole night.
Damn, Mason Graham, because they played both at
They
Michigan together.
same side of the ball.
That's crazy. So Will Johnson was back there?
He was there.
Damn, and he didn't get picked into the third round. That's cold game, and that's a real dude right there. And those are the type of things that you respect about a dude, man. You
Absolutely.
respect, and when you see how Mason Graham plays, man, I want that guy. And I'm glad he's I can see because the Raiders and the Browns kind of have that that rough mentality. Like
Yeah.
y'all one of them other fan bases that reminds us of ours. Like y'all really the people, we done kind of got Hollywood. We in Vegas now, but originality, like when they was in Oakland and LA, it's the same as the Cleveland fans and y'all just gritty people, but y'all hometown family people, and it's the same type of deal, and especially with the team we AFC teams, you know how it is.
Right.
We get it out the mud, so um, I'm glad that Mason Graham went there because I feel like he fits you guys' profile for sure.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and because if you got Abdul on the outside, and even though this was a heavy D tackle class where you could have got somebody else, but yeah, I'm not about to sit here and try to make sense because
No.
I ain't no way in. Because
Hey,
yeah, I ain't about
Cam, listen.
to.
I had mocks where I had Abdul Carter, Tyleek Williams.
Yeah.
Like, hey, hey.
Right. Now that wasn't gonna happen because Tyleek went in the first, but y'all was back up like number one off the bat, and y'all could have had I don't know if y'all could have had Nolan Williams, y'all could have had somebody up in that bitch like so yeah, that I mean, if we want to be real, that
Be
is
real.
it's I like Mason, but it's like, damn, y'all could have had what's the name? Um and but you have a first round pick next year, an extra one. That's the kicker.
That is the kicker. That
That
really is the kicker.
that's the kicker. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
kicker.
yeah, we definitely cannot forget
Cannot forget that, bro.
that one next year.
Nah, nah,
That's
nah.
gonna be clutch.
Woo!
Hey, that's gonna be clutch.
Woo!
Because listen, you also have to figure if Shador or Dylan don't work out, you still got a first next
That's
year.
what I'm saying. And they're saying it's a better class
Better
next year.
QB class.
You have two first
But is
next.
that only because Archie Manning is gonna be in it?
Well, I feel like is that I was looking at highlights of the boy from Tennessee that's transferring. I think he's going to UCLA. The one that got he
The
was
Hawaiian dude?
I think is he um quarterback and his dad wanted him to get more money because he seen like one of the other quarterbacks. I was watching him play because we got his it's basically his quarterback.
Oh,
His
okay.
quarterback. And I was like, just looking at the highlights, and I was like, oh, he looked nice. I'm like, is he one of the quarterbacks that they saying coming out? I don't know if he's coming out, but he looked like he could be decent, but I don't know a lot about him, to be honest. Um,
I want to say he was a 5-star going to Tennessee. Like I want to say I seen clips of him. I want to say he's from Hawaii.
yeah.
Um, and they was talking about him like when he was still in high school. So
Okay. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know why they talk about the next draft class, but I think it is because of Archie Manning, which doesn't make sense because you Quinn Ewers was the starting quarterback in Texas. It wasn't even him. Like, so I don't even
yeah,
understand how they just so huge on it. But that's a topic for another day. But that's the
right.
thing. Like, you guys have the option that next year with 2 first-round picks. You got the option at a superstar quarterback and a possible other great quarterback, which I don't want to put them under the microscope for just 1 year. That's a lot. That's too much. I
Hmm.
think it's going to take a little bit more time. So, I don't know if you guys would be like, damn, okay, we not going to take a quarterback and just go, you know,
Bill.
build next year and just continue to see what we got out of Gabriel and what's it called, let them fight it out. Um, yeah, but you guys are in a good position. You guys are in a really good position. And yeah. And you got Mike.
Um, yeah, yeah. But then like going back to the whole Shador situation, I did go into a disgusted mode. I want to say even we were on the phone and I think I was like, hey, if we don't take Shador right here, like I'm getting off.
Yeah, you did. And I was
Because yeah, it started to turn into like it okay, I'm finna be real.
a buck. That's what we do, Sportz Yak. Y'all already
I'm
know
finna,
we so did.
I'm finna keep it real. So I honestly I think the only reason the Browns took Shador was because if Shador would have went undrafted, then the collusion lawsuit starts, and then we start seeing these emails and these phone calls.
Mm, mm, that,
And the NFL didn't want that.
yeah.
They didn't want that heat on them.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. And then once the prank phone call started going viral, because that happened on day 2. So when people started seeing that, it was just like, oh, this is a clown show, bro, bro. And that's why I was like, at first when I was like, damn, am I like, I was trying to blow it off, but I was just like, they're embarrassing. This is on purpose. And you supposed to say, oh, the boy didn't know and all that. Did you see the kid? The kid he looked Asian. I was like, this ain't this nigga's son. I was like,
Bro,
and we keep it real. Sports Yak. We
keep it
back.
100.
But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man, it didn't, I don't know, man. It just, and he just, it's we got so he didn't know. He just kept the iPad open, and we just take that. Oh, he was fined 100,000 and 250, and it's over with. And it's just like, this is a humiliation ritual, and they doing this
Absolutely.
on purpose. And I wish that, see, the NFL is built in a way where there's no one person to sue. You would have,
Right.
John Gruden went after the NFL, and he went after, I guess that however they broke it down, but I think he got paid under the table. But Shador will be in a situation where it's a Colin Kaepernick. They're gonna oust him out, just like they just showed you how they did right there.
Right.
I don't know when people will start to wake up and realize what we really dealing with right in our face. But we love the sport, we love the game, and we love to talk about it. And that's another topic. But yeah, I think I felt the same way, bro, when I seen when you actually said it to me, like I think I'm good if he don't get picked here, which I forgot who it was. I was completely with you. I was with you, and I think I shut it off after that too. And yeah, man, we sitting here and we dealing with it, but God lives through that boy, and I see with him going out there and doing what he's doing, it immediately shows what all of y'all missed out on, including my team, because we needed a quarterback and we didn't take him. Shout out to Cam Miller, though. I think he's going to be a good backup. He's going to push Aiden Connell for a backup spot. Um, but you know, I think the NFL and a lot of these teams missed out on a great player, and I hope Shador, boy, you dig yourself about that hole and you become that boy. And Dylan Gabriel, I hope you become that boy too, man. Shout out to Dylan Gabriel. I think if we want to talk about it, Dylan Gabriel's getting overlooked in a lot of this, and I think it's a little messed up because we do have to talk about it because we know Shador got worked, but then it's like go Shador. We know you could do it, and we know you could beat out Dylan Gabriel. You're better than him. Like his family and them seeing that on TV, Dylan Gabriel.
This is
So it's like,
true. This is true.
right. I thought about that. Like, man, that's tough that Dylan Gabriel was picked, and now he's in this whole whirlwind of everything. And this was a Heisman. He was at the Heisman thing. He
That
was
was,
a Heisman runner up. And if anything, you could say he was a fall. So, um, I think that Dylan Gabriel, hopefully he does his thing too, man, and y'all give the boys a real chance to show out over there.
and I believe they will, because they'll have to.
Yeah,
I really believe like um Shador's makeup. I don't think nothing about him is gonna let anything like restrict him from being who he is 100%.
for sure.
I think he really gonna make everybody like realize like, yo, yeah,
I'm that
we
boy.
I'm that boy, and the last thing you should have done was give me a flame. Like I already got confidence, and now you gave me a flame under my feet.
Come on, man. Come on,
Come
man.
on,
And
come on.
they talk about what we got. So we got six.
Yeah,
Talk about the opportunities that they're gonna get. And for some reason I don't fear that for Shador. I know he's gonna get some opportunities. And but the thing is there is it's very minimum, like there's it's very small error that he can make. And unless he really goes out there and does something outstanding. Not saying outstanding because, like I said, he doesn't have to beat out nobody crazy, but they're gonna make it tough for him. I feel like it. They're gonna make it tough because, and when I say that, I mean like 2-3 reps of practice in a real scrimmage. I don't know. That's what it sounds like, but because then Dylan gonna be like, man, this nigga getting more than me. Like, man, I was picked before him.
right.
Then you got the other boy. Who else y'all got?
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett, which has, let's be real, they might not be able to beat out Kenny Pickett. Because he's a vet. I mean, he's not a veteran, but he's been in the game 3 years now, 4 years. I don't know. So he
Hey,
he
listen. Hey,
I'm
listen.
saying,
Hey, listen.
he got a
So nah, I don't think he got the up. He may have the up on being in the league for the last 4 to 5 years, but I don't think he has the talent on the field to outshine Dylan or Shador. So I see Kenny being fourth string easy. He gonna be behind these rookies easy.
easy. I could feel that because I mean I don't think Dylan or Shador are gonna deal with well. My only thing is with Dylan, I don't think he's going to be able to win over a locker room. Like I'm not gonna say he can't, but we talking about NFL lock them boys,
Men.
men. Dylan doesn't seem like he's the type to lead them type of boys, and I'm not knocking him, but so and then Kenny's already been there, so that part is kind of what I mean. Like Kenny understands that locker room. Shador, he walking straight in now. This motherfucker's gonna be hating on him for sure.
Absolutely.
This motherfucker's gonna be on his own team, but I don't question Shador being able to get that locker room on his side. Like, but it's gonna all revolve down in that play. It's just that they put him in a spot where the opportunity was very minimal.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, absolutely. The expectations is super low.
Yeah.
I think that's what's gonna make his play look so good
Mm,
is because why did he fall? Because of interviews. Nothing was football related to this quote unquote fall in the draft. Had
right.
nothing to do with his accuracy, arm strength, hand size, all the other bullshit they be saying in the combines. Like, no, this had nothing to do with that. So I honestly feel like his play is going to prove. Because listen, if you can play, they can't keep you off the field.
Right.
They
They
can't keep you off the field. And so I believe his play and his ability to lead men and galvanize men is going to play a huge factor in either him staying on the Cleveland Browns or going somewhere else and being an asset to another team.
For sure, for sure. And that's the factor that they mistakenly took for cockiness. No, that confident is what you want in the quarterback. You want him because he
Absolutely.
can go. Y'all looked at it the wrong way, and that's where I have an issue with a lot of these people that are scouts, quote unquote, because there's always not always. Let me not say that, but there's a lot of certain teams have certain. Do you think there's a reason why the Giants have never had a black quarterback when they should have multiple
Right.
times?
Right.
That's not by accident. Like there's certain teams that just they stay away from a certain type of players, and I'll say that for lack of a better, but um they miss out on great players, and that's why I love being a Raider where, you know, Al Davis didn't do that. Al Davis took who he felt was the best player. He don't care about where you come from, what you look like, what you eat, who you date, none of that stuff.
Right.
And I
Right.
think they've gotten to a point where they just dig too deep into these kids and just make it such a nitpick. They forgot that these are still young men, young dudes, and they're figuring it out. One thing I want to say before we get out of here, they asked this one GM, I forgot what team he was, but I heard them ask a GM like, "Yo, how do you feel about?" I think it was the Giants, I mean the Lions. How do you feel about the new NIL and these kids coming in with money and everything doesn't mess it up? And they was like, man, honestly, we think that it helps it because a lot of these kids come in and they understand money now because they have it instead of back then where they was first time getting it and they was messing it up. A lot of these kids, you don't have to really tell them; they kind of know. And then I think it was Pat McAfee. They was like, you know what? That's like a third GM that I've heard say that. So it's interesting to see the GM say, uh, "These kids with the money, it actually is cool. We messing with it."
Nice.
Um, that's it. That's all we got for y'all, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in. We gonna be right back at y'all with more topics, more fun, chilling, and doing what we do, man. Sports Yak. We'll be back.
Holla at your people.
Get in.